We're ready.
We're ready.
Bill.
We will open this meeting of June 26, 2014. Let the record show that Selectman Scanlon is on his way. He will be here. All other selectmen are present. At this time, I'd like to go into non-public. So I'll make a motion to go into non-public as per RSA 91A:3, and it would be adversely affecting the reputation, the sale of property, and what was the other one, Catherine? Legal.
Second.
Roll call vote?
Yes.
Yes.
We're red.
We're okay, send them up.
Motion to seal the minutes of the non-public session permanently.
Second.
Send people up.
Roll call vote?
Yes.
Yes. No way to do that, I'm vice chair.
She's the chair of vice. The vice. The vice.
I was for 30 years.
Yes. Vice.
I can attest to that.
The vice.
All right. You took the vote?
Yeah,
Okay.
we
thanks.
sealed it.
Thank you. All right, so they're on their way up. There's a presentation from Jeannie Forrester, as well as the chief has a presentation from Norman as well.
Who?
Norm Ashburn.
Oh, nice.
Oh, did it? It does happen.
Come on up. Sorry to keep you waiting. Hi, Joe.
I've never been to general.
I was going to wait to invite it, that's all.
Hi, Selectman Dawson, how do you do? I am fine, thanks.
Nice to meet you.
Consistent.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
How do you do?
How you doing? Good to see you.
Hey, Charles, good to see you.
Donna Rose from Salmon. How are you? So impressed. Good. How are you?
Scanlon?
Senator.
Yeah, no mustache.
How are you, Marty?
Hey, Michael,
Good to see you.
how are you? I'm good.
Thank you. Dave, what's going on?
Corporal, how are you, buddy?
All right.
Good.
How you doing?
Thank you.
Oh, you helped yourself, you.
This is for you, Chief, because I won't be here tomorrow.
They've got Mike.
I'll
They've
fix
got
the two air conditioners.
Now
They're
you can hear them.
downstairs.
Oh, all these, oh, there was, oh, that's right.
Now, since you have the name, I just want to second.
Ruth Minor. Ruth Minor, and she's in Unit 52.
This is our energy.
Okay. Next on our agenda, we have a very special night tonight. We have General Steve Curry and Vic Rogers here tonight to present an award. I'd also like to recognize Senator Jean Forrest, Executive Council Joe Kenny, and Representative Dennis Fields here with us tonight, and lots of friends and officers, and oh, and of course Jane Alden in back there, don't forget her. So at this time, I'd like to invite the General and Vic up to say a few words about what the award is about, and then present the chief.
Okay, shall we talk to the audience?
Sure. No, go ahead, talk to the audience.
Then you'll be talking to the camera as well.
How about if I put it back here?
let Vic do the talking because he's going to get it right.
Good evening. My name is Vic Rogers. I'm Lieutenant Colonel, retired, United States Army, and I belong to an organization out of Concord and for employer support of the Guard and Reserve. And what we do, basically, we have a four-part mission given to us by the Secretary of Defense. We are all volunteers, and what we do is, number one, is teach the federal law as it pertains to the reemployment and reinstatement of service members when they go away on deployment or training. Our second mission would be to recognize supportive employers, which is why we're here tonight. The third mission would be to mediate any situations that may exist between an employer and a service member. Say that there was a little discrepancy as to why they had to go away, if they should get their job back or not, and what we do is we clarify the federal law to both the service member and the employer. Our fourth mission, and a very important one, is coming up over the past year, is employment. If we have service members returning that are not employed or underemployed, we'll work to try to settle that situation and get them into meaningful employment in our community. And this is like a reestablishing them in our community. So that is our four-part mission. And like I say, we are here tonight to honor the Chief of Police, Chief Comia, for an outstanding job in supporting the individual that is on his staff that has had several deployments. I believe he had one in Iraq, two in Afghanistan, and was injured in the Iraqi situation. I'd like to call the corporal forward, and he could tell you a little bit more about what he did and why he nominated the chief.
Good evening, everyone. Legislators, thank you for coming. Board of Selectmen, Colonel, General, Command Sergeant Major. 2006, I joined the National Guard with a friend of mine from Franklin. We went our separate ways to combat zones. I went to Iraq, where we were in a pretty bad place in southeast Baghdad. We got our mission done with a few losses. We came home. During that time, I was injured. I was received back to the PD. There was a change of command from Chief to Chief Cormier. Chief brought me back in immediately, sat me down, took me out. We had some coffee, drove around, and I told him I was injured, going to require some surgery most likely, which that did end up happening a few months later. The chief helped me through that. The Board of Selectmen helped me through that, and I was able to come back to work. Shortly after I recuperated, I ended up going to Afghanistan again, or going to Afghanistan. Gone for almost a year and a half, coming back, again, the chief brought me right in, put me right back to work, told me, you come back when you're ready, which I came back within a few weeks because I needed to be ready quick. Then, just here recently, I just got back this past January. Again, this time, almost 2 years I was gone. And the town had to do without one of their 3 supervisors because I was over in another country. Again, the chief brought me right back in, told me, you know, take your time, don't come back too early. I had plenty of leave. I couldn't sit around the house. He's like, well, stay out. No, I can't stay out. Got to come to work. So I came to work early, and I just want to thank the Board of Selectmen and the Chief of Police for making me feel that I'm an important employee and that my service was important to both the town of Tilton and this nation. Thank you, Chief. Thank you, Board.
So as Sergeant Ashburn stated, he works for a leader, a real leader, an individual that knows what subordinates need, when they need it, and it's important. So what we're here today is to do today is the most fun thing we can do, and that's to recognize the great work that the chief did supporting this soldier when he really needed it. And so we want to do is present you with a Patriot Award. We're going to read it here in a second. And we want to thank you on behalf of Sergeant Ashburn, but also on behalf of our organization for the great work you did. So let's put you in front of the flags because that's where you really need to be.
Attention to orders. Secretary of Defense Office, employer support of the Guard and Reserve, recognizes Chief Robert Cormier, Town of Tilton, as a patriotic employer for contributing to national security and protecting liberty and freedom by supporting employee participation in America's National Guard and Reserve Force. Signed in Washington by Ronald Young, Major General, Executive Director, Employer Support of the Guard and Reserve, and Paul Mock, National Chairman, Employer Support of the Guard and Reserve.
Thanks, Vic. Chief, well done. Can I get a picture of that? Okay, now this is a quasi-military ceremony, so we got a couple of things we got to take care of here. We got a medal, we got to have a medal. This is a Patriot pin, all right? And I don't know if it meets the town's regulations, but we're gonna put it on you anyway, okay? And it says Patriot, ESGR, and reflects the great work you do. Thanks very much. And then the last thing is kind of personal on my part. I retired 10 years ago, came to New Hampshire. But before I retired, I ran the Army Military Police Corps. That was my job. And since this is a law enforcement organization, we have a tradition in the Army, and that's to coin great troops. And so I want to coin you guys with my challenge coin. And thank you for the great work you do keeping people safe. Cool? All right. Now, if I run into you in a bar and I pull my coin out and you don't have yours, you're on. You're buying.
Thank you, Joe.
Gotcha. Take care. Thanks, folks. Appreciate it.
If everybody just hold their seats for a second.
Yeah, this is a better state, a better community, and a better United States of America because of people like this. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. And if we have one more presentation that the chief doesn't know about, for a change, go ahead.
Thank you, Pat. It truly is an honor to be here tonight with all of you. Couldn't be prouder to be here, and it doesn't surprise me that here in Tilton something like this would happen. And I think it really does come from the top down. You get your marching orders from the select board, who are really truly every single one of you leaders, and that kind of reflects on the chief of police. And I have a presentation that I would like to make to you, Chief, on behalf of the New Hampshire State Senate. And what we have here is a flag, a New Hampshire flag, and it was flown over the New Hampshire State House in honor of Chief Robert Cormier for his commitment to employer support of the New Hampshire National Guard and Reserve on June 26th in the year of our Lord, 2014, in the independence of the United States of America, 230.
Thank you.
You have one? All right, we have one more presentation. So Colonel or / Sergeant Ashburn, if you'd come up.
So Sonny doesn't know about this, but we've been waiting to also honor him. He's been so busy in the last 7 years taking care of the country that I haven't really had a chance to do this, so I couldn't miss this opportunity either. So I'd like to read this letter from myself to Corporal Ashburn, or Sergeant First Class. Norman Ashburn. Dear Sir, on this date, the 26th of June, 2014, the Tilton Police Department would like to hereby recognize you for your outstanding dedication and service to both the Tilton Police Department and the United States military over the last 7 years with 3 combat deployments. You have made both major personal and professional sacrifices to serve your country and to protect our freedom. You have trained and inspired new soldiers, sharing your military and law enforcement experience, training and experience with them. You have brought platoons of soldiers into harm's way and then returned them home safely to their families, mission complete. You did this all while managing your career in law enforcement and your family life. You typify what it means when we say true leaders make sacrifices for the greater good of all. It is my honor and privilege to present you with the Law Enforcement Distinguished Military Award pin, which should be worn on your uniform with pride. Thank you for your years of dedicated service to the Tilton Police Department and to our country.
Let's get a picture with all of them. All the legislators, general.
That's your copy. Thank you.
Executive Council.
Okay. Congratulations, Corporal. Good job. I'll get in the back. I'm tall. No.
Very nice.
Wonderful. Now the general would like to get a picture with just the 4 of you, if you would.
Who knows how to take a picture with an iPad?
This is really going on national paper. Yeah.
You're gonna trust me now, right?
I don't do anything with iPads.
Oh, the glasses are coming off. Watch out.
Makes it all efficient.
I got 3 of them. There you go.
Let's see what they get.
Uh-oh.
It's an add-in photo.
I feel like I'm in class now.
Beautiful.
Good.
You took 4 of them, actually.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
That'd be like my hand. Well, that's awesome.
What is the coin called?
Congratulations, sir. Let me see that pen. Where is it?
Right.
Oh, nice, nice, nice. Goes right up there now.
Actually, it'll go right
In
above this.
between.
Right there.
Yes,
Let me see
I
what you
I've
got.
heard of them before and I couldn't think of what.
Yeah, the
Beautiful.
law enforcement makes a military pin, so this is perfect.
Which is pretty neat.
That's great. We have some coffee and refreshments over there, everyone.
Well, great. Hey, pull it off.
Thank you very much.
It's my pleasure.
Both you guys. Nice surprise.
Who as they say,
So you like it?
We're back.
How's that again, Catherine?
Exciting, exciting, exciting. Catherine, you're up. No, I'm just Okay, we have a few things on our agenda that we need to get cleared up. One is that I need to announce the school committee, the letter of appointment to the study committee for the apportionment formula for the Winnisquam Regional School District as authorized by 2014 school district meeting.
Don't want to be on it again.
Can't.
There's one appointee.
There's Chuck Mitchell, the moderator, has appointed the people from Tilton. And yes, yes.
Okay. Who do you
Mike
appoint?
Gagney, the Winnisquam School Board. John Scanlon, Tilton Selectmen.
Good.
And Scott Davis, community member.
Good.
So talk to...
For the formula committee?
Yep. So talk to him and...
So why did he appoint them?
Because he's the moderator.
And Ken Fenham appoints the ones in...
We've always appointed, the selectmen here, we've always appointed them from Tilton.
Really? Well, he got the request to appoint.
These are good.
Right here. Dear Mr. Mitchell, right here. To see if the total study committee, da-da-da-da-da. So that's, Ken Fenimore asked him to appoint.
Too much junk. This is new junk. That's old.
Oh, it says, please work with the Tilton Board of Selectmen.
We'll call him up.
Call him up. Okay. Done and done. Okay, we have been asked to look into eons ago, we were asked, and I was asked yesterday again, to look into an impound facility for the PD, for the vehicles that they're impounding for whatever reasons. And I talked with Dennis today, and he's found an area behind the highway garage. So...
Out on the back 40?
Out on the back 40, with the approval of the selectmen. It only needs a fence, and I believe, Chief...
Yeah, I can use forfeiture.
You could use drug forfeiture money to put the fence up and lock it, so...
No problem.
That works.
I'll make a motion that we create a impound area for the Tilton PD behind the highway garage in the designated place by Dennis Allen.
Second?
I have a
Question?
under discussion.
Under discussion?
What about if one of these vehicles is leaking fluids? Is there some kind of a provision that we can
Well, right
take?
now they're
Because
in the
none of
Sally
that's-
Port.
Huh?
Right now, they're in our Sally Port at the Tilton PD.
Well, that's all concrete or asphalt or
Yeah,
something. At
go
least
ahead.
we got that. But if we're leaking, gushing some kind of fluid when maybe it's been in an accident, or I don't know, but there's no kind of a containment system out back on the back 40.
It's a good
So
question.
I was just wondering if we could at least look into fluid loss before we bring it there,
Right, right.
and make the appropriate call at the time. Drain the radiator or whatever,
Before we put it out.
bring it out to the, yeah.
Well,
point.
you'd have to pour some type, you'd have to pour a concrete pad or put some kind of membrane underneath to be absolutely certain.
Well, if we drain all the
No
liquid
matter where
out
we
of
put it.
anything that's leaking, at least we've got the, in the short term, we got to put them somewhere.
How big of a pad do you think you'd have to pour, Chief, we had to pour a pad?
That area
How big
is
of an area
all
is it?
surrounded by wetlands.
On both
and-
sides.
On both sides, and there's a wellhead for Dairy Queen. It should be on a cement pad with sufficient containment for doing that.
He said big enough for 5 vehicles.
Oh, no, I was saying that probably, like 2 24 by 24 or something.
We haven't, we psyched out an area like 70 by 50.
Oh, okay.
There should be a portion of it to container or that no vehicles leaking anything.
All right, we have a motion on the table. We've designated a site in an area, and can we work on getting the particulars on getting a pad and in any, that's a good point, Joe, that you brought up, for any leakage or any
And
kind
the
of,
fencing, what that's going to cost us, and where we can get that money. Well,
because you
no,
might be able to,
you've got
you
some-
might be able to get the concrete out of that money as well.
But talk to persons, they love to donate stuff like that.
All right,
Okay.
motions on the table for the, an impound area for the Tilton PD in back of the garage designated by Dennis. He'll show you where it is. I can't tell you
Want to do an amendment to the motion?
for,
That the area would be properly environmentally safe?
Let's make it a separate thing. Let's vote on making the thing, and then I'll make a new motion.
I think it should be one motion.
I do too. I don't think we should do it without it.
Right, I'll amend the motion contingent on finding a environmental friendly pad to put it on.
Move my second.
All right, is that, okay. All those in favor of the motion?
Yes.
Aye. So that, opposed? No, everybody's okay with that. Chief, the letter to, in the FY, it's in our FYI file, wherever that is. We had asked a week or so ago, a couple weeks ago, the board had said to bill Liberty Utilities because of the, on Prospect Street.
Yep.
I read the letter. It doesn't, and I'll give you this letter. I'll pass this letter around. It doesn't specify that they're being billed.
I'll let it start with you.
It's sort of like slapping them on the wrist and saying, the next time it happens,
This has happened more than once, hasn't it?
it's been a pattern of theirs, and we made that clear, so. They were supposed to be billed for a day of details. It wasn't that, am I correct in saying that? Wasn't
Yes,
that-
yes, I was all about billing them.
It's in the minutes.
Did you read it?
Because of the pattern of we forgot, or whatever.
Did you see where it was billed at all? It was just like a slap, right?
As opposed to...
I think we should be going for the whole day.
For the day, right, 8 hours.
Including the time that they weren't.
Okay, so,
Now, what is this?
Remember Liberty...
But there's no bill that went with it?
Right, they didn't bill them. That's the letter, that's like a
But we
slap
told
on
them
the
to bill
wrist.
it.
Yes, we did. That's what I'm just saying, that... Can we bill them from our office? Or do you have to bill them from your office? Can we change this to a bill?
Or add a bill to it?
Or add a bill and send it? This has already been sent out, though.
yeah, we can, and
what's
let, and yeah, let us do it.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll
So 8 hours, we had agreed on 8 hours for that day, because they had called prior to that day looking for information on details, and they were told to call the PD, and plenty of time for us to get a detail, and then that morning, they said, oh, it's an emergency, we have a leak.
Well, I know I told the captain we would bill for 8 hours, and Lisa may have billed him for 8 hours, but I'll...
Oh, can you find out? Because we asked him for the letter that billed for 8 hours, and we didn't get that.
Yeah,
This is what we got.
Yeah, she would have billed him directly, but I'll get a copy of that.
Okay,
too.
good. So it might have been billed.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
I told the cap to bill him for 8 hours.
All right. Okay. Packet book, we got a note from the lawyer. I explained they were very concerned that they hadn't gotten a reply from us. I talked with them and said that, updated them on what we were doing, and that I promised them a letter by the end of next week for an update, a formal letter as to what we have done with that. Land of no return up on Beach Street. We need to talk about whether or not we want Kraus to go ahead and go back and research it, to perform the deed research at Belknap County Registry of Deeds of probate and surrounding properties to determine the last known record of owner of R-930 and possible access to properties. So they would deliver a survey report detailing work, completed copies of property title chains along with associated deeds, sketches, and plans. Total cost of the above described work is between $400 and $500, which will probably recoup in selling the property to the people around in the areas.
Well, I think that's the question before we decide to go through that. Have we definitely
We
decided?
can't sell it if we don't own it.
But have we definitely decided to go forward and sell it, or just own it?
Conservation Commission expressed no interest in, at the last meeting, in
Right, but we own it already.
Right.
It's ours.
saving it as a conservation.
Right, but I mean,
I say go ahead.
you know, I'm just saying, we haven't
get
made
to
a
it.
definitive decision. We are going to sell it.
I'd like to know for a fact that we do indeed own it.
We do own it.
Exactly what, but we were talking about doing deed research. How
Nobody's
did we
done
get it?
Nobody's done a
We
research.
took
was
it
just-
by tax
From
deed.
where?
And
Nobody-
Nobody has come forward to claim it. We own it. We by law,
If they think they own it, why would they come forward?
we by law,
I would love to
currently,
sell it.
the town of Tilton owns it. My question is, this board has not made a definitive decision. We want to sell that property.
Well,
We've
let's
talked
make a
about
different,
it.
let's,
Make a motion, we sell the property.
I
Second.
second it.
Third,
all right. So a motion's been made to go
I call
ahead
the
and
question.
forward and sell the property. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Now it seems
Opposed? Okay. Now, do we want Dave Krause to go ahead and do the deed research and so on to do that?
So, my question is, why are we expending monies to do a deed research? What is the purpose? If the town of Tilton
I don't want
owns
to have
it,
happen to what happened on the Salmon Run property.
but that was different, that was through a purchase.
But I think if we're
What we're
going to...
going to sell, I don't want that to come back and say we sold the property that we didn't own.
But we do own it.
Do,
We took it by
I heard-
tax deed, it's not the same.
From who? Can we do some, I'd like to know where it
Joyce.
came from, that's all.
according to Joyce, there's been no research on the back the deeds, and that's why she wanted to go ahead with this.
But what I'm saying is, why is it necessary if we took it by tax deed? That's not the same as us buying it from somebody who's pretending to be the owner of it.
Who did we take it from?
Well,
Out of curiosity.
That if we're going to try and sell it, we should have an accurate description of what we're selling to the neighbors, so we're not misrepresenting to them what the actual boundaries or the ownership.
And so do we have that currently?
Yeah, it's in the tax maps.
Well, if we have all that information, I don't want to spend $500 to sell it that we don't need to sell.
And I'm not positive we don't have to. My question is, in my mind, we've taken it legally through the process of tax deeding. Because no taxes were paid on it, no one came forward. I personally contacted 90% of the owners that abutted it.
And this is the first time I'm hearing that we actually took it by tax deed. My understanding is we didn't know how we got it, it just fell through the loop.
No, we took it by tax deed.
Did we? Do we have a copy of when we deeded it?
Do you know when?
Oh, God.
That's why I
It
think
was
just
years
for
ago.
insurance, so that nobody comes back and
But
starts for
the process of
$500.
tax deeding is final.
But we don't have a copy of that. Do we have any record of that? I
Of the
don't know.
tax deeding?
Tax-
Of course we must. We didn't just suddenly, all of a sudden, own this property by default.
Do you want me to get more information, copies of all of that
My
for
que-
next
but-
week?
It's a local government question or a Dan Crean question, you know? We've got it by tax deed. Is that a hard and fast deed? Do we need to go out and research that, or is that a hard and fast deed?
We took another property by tax deed and then gave it back to them, and that's where we got in trouble in 1935.
No,
A
we
45.
bought that property from Rodney Martin.
No, but remember the clerk of court
When she rewrote the
That,
deed
right, in
back, she
1935.
wrote the wrong deed
Right.
to the wrong property.
Right.
But that's not what's happened here.
How much is a piece of property like that worth?
Not all that much, I would imagine, but
Not much, it's landlocked.
Couple
It's
thousand
landlocked.
to a neighbor
Yeah.
and a butter,
Right.
couple grand.
and nothing to us.
You could not buy it and build a home on it.
It'd probably be split up between, abutters, but, so it wouldn't amount to a lot. You could recoup your value of what you're
It actually-
getting into deed research and then probably make
something.
something.
According to our subdivision regulations, I don't think it can be subdivided.
Probably have to go to one. It's not big enough to
It's-
subdivide 6 ways.
It could be a lot line adjustment to them,
Maybe.
right?
So you want to talk about next week? Get the information?
Do you want to try to get the tax deed and looking for that information, and then we'll go forward next week?
I just want to be certain that we aren't wasting money. If that's a hard and fast deed that nobody can contest, why research it?
And I agree. I agree. If there's any problem or any
agree with
gray
that. I'm
area,
not
we
sure
spend the
about that.
$500.
I'm not either. I don't know the answer to it.
We can spend $250 on a lawyer.
That's right. I love lawyers.
Liar.
I've changed my whole outlook on lawyers.
Liar.
I am a liar, I'm sorry.
Okay,
I call what they say.
Yeah.
we have the Winnipesaukee River Basin renewal, the River Basin Project renewal. This is for the transcription and documentation preparation. Remember, last week we asked them not to include an increase to the transcriber, the person that takes the transcription, the minutes, and they have taken that out and said at a later time if there was ever increased that they would note it. There's one place for the one person to sign in the agreement itself, and then in the town clerk's affidavit, all of us can sign.
I make a motion, choose the chair to sign it.
Second.
A motion has been made in second. All those, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Pat to sign 1.11. Initial pages 2, 3, and 4. And then everybody signs this. I'll send it that way. The cleaning contract, Tim has given us a little overview on this. This is a new proposal, adding a second person to the cleaning 2 days a week. It increases the town hall from 66 twice a week, total of 132, to 90 per cleaning twice a week, for a new total of 180. This increase of 48 per week over the course of a full year is $24.96. So it would be half of that because we're July to December right now. Will only be billed for the actual hours required in town hall. If during the summer hours they are able to clean in less time with fewer people, then they'll pay less. In no case will we be charged more than $180 per week in cleaning in town hall. Another cost was separate from the other one, was a supplemental that they had. Originally it was $400. Realistically, it was revised to $1,050. So
That was the annual window cleaning.
right, that's annually. So that would be half from July to December. So from July to December, our additional cost will be $1,248. We'll probably charge the overage to either town hall maintenance and repair or the administrative consulting line if either has available budget through the end of the year, both do now. In addition, the expense for the window cleaning would likely be charged to town hall maintenance and repair as well, which we would normally do anyway, right?
We've never had the windows done.
I see that.
I thought we did once 5 years ago.
Inside.
They did
Inside
the
we did.
inside,
Oh,
but
okay.
they didn't do...
They didn't do the outside, you're right.
The outside is the problem. A squeegee and a bucket will do
That's
the
gonna
inside.
That's going to be nice. We did not have a separate item for window cleaning as part of the janitorial budget, so,
So it's another $1,900 with the window cleaning and the,
Well, the window cleaning is optional. That was an addendum. That was once a year, cleaning them.
I understand, but if we
Right now.
agree to that, then it's $1,900 almost.
well, it's
Well, it's still an
$525.
option. That window cleaning remains an option until we
Yes.
tell him to do it.
Okay,
Catherine,
my statement is, if we add the window cleaning, it's almost $1,900.
Right.
yeah, but I want to compare this to the other bidders. So
This was the lowest, Catherine.
2,496 is the additional cost, right?
Per year.
They still,
Plus the $600 for windows.
they still came with
No.
the lowest, correct? Am I right, of all of the bidders that came in?
Even adding this, they're still,
That's still the lowest.
okay, that's my question.
Yeah.
I didn't bring my file over.
So I would make a motion to accept the revised cleaning contract.
Second.
Under discussion, why are we revising the cleaning contract?
Because they're going to, they were going to terminate. And we,
I thought they walked out.
That was the other one.
What other one?
the one before this, Tri-State.
Tri-State? Tri-State? They didn't, I can't believe that they would walk away from a contract like that.
After not showing up.
All right.
Tri-State?
Tri-State.
Tri-State, okay, that's 5, I'm good.
All right. So,
Every
having,
time I get the chance.
doing the job, they realized that it was a little more than what they had put in for. So they were going to walk away from the contract. And we asked them what the difference would be. And this is what they came back with.
Still lower than everybody.
Although they were very nice. They said that they would stay with us till we found somebody else. But they're still,
There is nobody else, is there, Catherine? No,
Well,
that was my impression about this.
there are others, but they're much more expensive.
Yes.
We can also think about having an employee.
We're almost at the point where you take all this, and you got a part-time person in the parks in the summer, and/or a snowplow guy, and you need a janitor person. We're already paying for an employee that we don't have. Kinda.
We did that.
I know, and that was a tough road to hoe, wasn't it, Catherine?
It didn't work.
Well, maybe you had a bad mix.
No.
Finding the right person was the
We had 2
problem.
or 3 that were employees. At least 2,
Two, Catherine.
and neither of them worked
I
out.
remember that part.
Didn't work out well at all.
Oh, if we could just find that person.
Motion's on the table. I'll call the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Everyone's aye.
Well, it's got to be cleaned. Lord knows.
Half a year mark. It would have been not long from now.
Bite your tongue. Tri-State.
I don't know those. Did you say Tri-State?
I'm just saying, Tri-State, yeah.
I'll send this down that way.
Leaves you high and dry.
The parade,
At least we were high.
can I get a final figure of who's coming to the parade on
Oh,
Saturday?
get out of town. I'm here.
I'm there.
Catherine?
Costumes?
I'm hoping to be there, but I may have many minions.
See, Mike?
Bring them. I love the Minions.
I'd have 3 minions.
Do you have minions?
No Minions this year. The kids at summer camp.
I don't have any little ones coming. However, when I went home, Kim said, "Can I ride in the truck too?" I went, "You get out of town."
That's cute.
Anyway,
No, let's put her up in there.
9 o'clock. I say 9:15 to 9:30 around the library Union Sanborn. Tomorrow I'll bring cloth bags and just fill the bags. We usually do 5 or 6 bags. And then we spread them out. We fill the bags with candy and then bring them that morning and put them on the truck. We'll be in the back of the big town dump truck. And then we take off from there. At the end of the parade, we'll all meet back at the 16 Prospect at 12:30, except Joe, because he's flipping hamburgers.
Now, we can just stay in the truck, and the truck will bring us
The
back.
truck will bring us back here if you want.
And dump us off.
I jump out of the truck at the police station and scurry into the park.
Okay, all right.
I'll probably just walk down on Saturday and see.
Moving along, Catherine, we're getting here. Parade, the impound space, the letter. DOT, we met with New Hampshire DOT Bill Rollins on 94 Winter Street. Do you remember John Barrett with the water coming down from the Veterans Home, coming across the street down the way and really ditching ruts in front of his house with the sidewalk, and then further down, covering the grate about this much with silt, and holes this deep all along the sidewalk, which is really a safety issue. Bill Rollins, they came up with a resolution of perhaps putting a grate just above his house, running a pipe down to the grate that was there in between his house and Yosharian's on the same side. And then we spoke about the problem further up at Mr. Hardy's place. Once we got up there, there were a couple of solutions. One was to have them put a drain under the on the left-hand side of the driveway and run a pipe over to the drain on the right-hand side. Just pipe it. But then after we started to talk, he said he was going to get everyone up and come out and walk it, the whole thing again, down again, and take a good look at it. But at least he came out. Dennis called him the day before yesterday, and we got the appointment for today, so John, Mr. Barrett was very pleased, so we're okay with that. Kraus, we've got till next week. School committee, I already did. All right. Minutes of June 12th.
About the 5th. Did we already do the 5th?
Yep. We did the 5th, right, Catherine?
Yes, that was...
It's in her budget under trainings and dues.
I'd like to make a motion to bring the minutes of June 12, 2014 to the floor for discussion.
All those in favor?
Yes.
On page 2, did you get that information from the chief? At the top?
No, I didn't, the last one I had.
Oh, good.
I have it, Catherine, disparate.
And further down in the page, if you go down to the paragraph ending Chief Cormier, just above it, it says, and ask Chief Cormier, should be if he would look at the middle school. And on page 4, last paragraph, Chair Constantino informed the board that she observed a vehicle at the Citgo station parked in front of the Jabuda store.
JAH.
She observed a vehicle parked in front of the Jabuda store that when it left drove between the telephone pole and the building into the Citgo Station parking lot to leave. That was awful. And then the next sentence, Chair Constantino informed the person that it was not a parking space.
And just below that, Chair Constantino reported that there are no flags, there are just PVC. PVC.
They now have springy posts with no parking signs on it.
Yep.
I noticed that right away.
And on page 5 at the bottom, at the very bottom of the page, estimates from Clippers, it's chippers.
That's what where are you, Catherine?
Pardon?
Bottom of page 5.
Page 5.
Page 5.
Way at the bottom, the last sentence.
Chippers. Chipwood.
Okay.
Anybody else have anything?
Make a motion, we accept the minutes of June 12th, 2014 as amended,
Second.
or corrected, I should say, yeah.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, abstained, okay. All right, Chief, you're up. Okay. Whoa.
Just run down some.
Yep.
Okay, just some quick updates. In the last 7 days, we've obviously been busy. A lot of people ask, is it due to Bike Week, but it was just busy, and a lot of it was local stuff too. So we've done internally about 1,423 calls for service.
In 1 week?
In the last 7 days, entered into the log. So they've been busy, and they were actually straight out all day today. For training this week, the only thing we had is I was telling Al, I got to go down to some, there were two things. We went to some training at LGC on Monday, and it was risk management and also supervision based. It talked about liability prevention. We talked about a whole gamut of things. The instructor, Matt Dolan, teaches around the country and teaches police liability, and he covers all the topics that could have liability. So it ranged from responding to calls to employee law to really everything in 8 hours. And I thought that everyone said the training was outstanding. I thought it was, and it was free by LGC. The other thing we got recently in state is a new simulator. You know, you've seen pilots have these simulators now where they can just about fly the plane in a simulator. Well, now they have law enforcement one that's 360 degrees around you.
Oh, it's like being in a car.
It's like being in a movie, really. It's totally around you. And it's so expensive that
Star Trek.
we could only get one for the whole state, but the next closest state to have one is New Jersey. So
And we've got it here in Tilton.
we've got it here in New Hampshire,
Oh.
the Academy. And it's called the Virtua 300. If you go on YouTube, you can actually see
Virtua?
Virtua, VIRTRA. And if you go, you saw it. It's $250,000. But you get there and it raises your heart rate, you're in the situation.
My heart rate raised just
All the
listening
way
to the
around
price.
you, and it's got surround sound. So you say, oh, it's just a simulator, it's just a game, it won't do anything. And you get in there and you're in it. So you can put them in a domestic, you can put them in a car stop, you can put them in a robbery, you can put them in a hostage.
It's interactive.
Interactive, totally. It's all done by computers and lasers. It's an amazing system. And about a year ago, they asked me to sit down, help them spec it out, and so I got to be the first one to actually use it and go through the training. So I'll be able to take our people down to Concord and put them through this, and I'm actually trained as Virtra, V-I-R-T-R-A. They're out of Phoenix, Arizona. If you go on YouTube.
Yep.
The one to watch, if you do go on YouTube, is pull up the domestic. It's on the front lawn, and the suspect has a knife, and you can see this system. So they put me through training to be actually like an instructor, and to be able to, I can go down there and just use it and bring people through it.
Now, isn't that a shocker? Isn't that a shocker? I have all of the training. This guy knows everybody.
No. I do
No,
believe
I
in
think it's good.
technology, and I
do too.
anything I can get our guys, the better, because it makes them better and
So
safer.
can you bring them down for a class?
Yep.
2x2 or something?
2x2, 3x3.
Yep.
Put them through it. Like I said, the next closest one is the U.S. Marshals have one in New Jersey.
If you see this thing, I'm telling you right now.
And
I'm going to look at it tonight because I have a 23-inch
I'll actually,
monitor.
the company will finish tomorrow all the fine tuning, and when it's all done and pretty, I'll bring you, anyone that wants to come down and see it.
I'm going.
So tell me what the cost is for this machine.
200.
No, it's over
300,000.
Oh, yeah. But it's
Over 3.
A lot of drug forfeiture money for that. For Tilton to have
well, that's
that.
why, I mean,
Take it
no
away.
one town could afford it, or city, not even big city. So
Purchase
we did it with Homeland Security grants and put it together for New Hampshire. It's really, I think it's great for officer safety. It's, they have to communicate with it, talk to it, de-escalate, negotiate. It's so that it brings in that liability piece, risk management, how to talk them down, and the whole thing's done by computers, and so I was trained to be able to sit there on the computer, and I can tell the suspect, you know, to attack the officer, not attack the officer, comply, depending on how the officer's doing. So it's a pretty neat system.
Yeah, I will.
I did bring, finally have all the quotes on the floors. Remember with the last time
Oh,
we
yes.
talked floors, we talked eco? So when I finish this, I'll show you where I'm at with that. Obviously, you talked about the old home day, the cruise night. Due to rain, we pushed that out to next Wednesday night to raise money for the Children's Advocacy Center. And then just a final note, I don't know if Water gave you a heads up, they're going to be running a line on Academy Street July 7th, and then one on Spruce July 14th. Has the board got a heads up on that
Nope.
yet?
I haven't seen it, but
July 7th on,
Academy Street?
July 7th on Academy, just for the public, July 7th on Academy.
Yeah, and they asked
And-
me for my recommendations. I obviously told them to notify us daily what piece they had that they were trenching. It'll be open and passable at night, so it just will be daytime operation only.
and they have certified flaggers or a certified flagger.
They're actually going to shut right off the
Are they?
pieces that they trench. And I said, you know, the only thing they have to do, obviously, is allow emergency vehicles in there, notify the homeowners in advance, communicate with dispatch where they are each day, police, fire, gave them the numbers, we'll inspect it each day, and work with them.
Rescheduled date for the child advocacy.
So that's next Wednesday
The
night.
9th.
And,
Begins at 6 p.m. There's a big cruise night, John, and everything.
It's,
Fred
July-
Caruso and music and burgers and fresh squeezed lemonade.
Where's that located?
That's located at 61 Laconia Road, the Tilton Diner.
some of the
Chef
old
Joe
men
will be cooking.
coming out of the woodwork.
I will.
You said
I'll be
6
there.
o'clock?
Pardon me?
6?
6 o'clock. Come on down.
Next Wednesday.
Best lemonade I ever put in my mouth, Catherine. Fresh squeezed from lemons.
Joe, how many cars
I
did we
love
have last
lemonade.
year?
That's what
I don't know, 100 maybe, they were everywhere.
Everywhere.
Hundreds
I'll
of
bring my
people.
truck.
Hundreds of people. Do
Bring the
it.
tractor.
Oh, yeah.
Motorcycles are well.
Bring the tractor, anything
9 Ford.
old timey,
Yeah. Yeah.
including me.
It's just a good night, if, 50s music playing, food
Big
cooking
fun. It was
outside.
big fun.
Big fun. So
That
that's
starts at 6
6
It
o'clock
does.
next Wednesday night.
till 9 or so.
Yeah, we've invited, there's a car club that meets at...
There's a couple of clubs that are coming, I know.
Little car club, I got them coming.
Yay.
Bob Brown's bringing that club that he's in.
Oh, there you go. There's at least 3, so we should,
Car he drives. They were all...
it'll be
One
everywhere.
of the bigger cruise nights of the year.
Oh, yeah.
The biggest one they ever had was when we had the thing for Norm Boudreau over there. And it was just wall-to-wall people. It was crazy. We do have somebody, we do have a police person that will be directing
Sign,
traffic.
yeah.
Yes, okay, good.
Yeah. So I wanted to get back to the floors, because the carpet in the patrol room's like, it's like a grenade hit it. So,
You guys are rough on stuff, that's all.
we're rough on stuff. So, Paul Ozier was able to work with me on some, like, eco-friendly stuff, and the two options we came with were marmoleum, and I'll pass this around, which is like an eco-friendly, non-toxic version of ECT, and then recycled rubber. And
Like chopped up tires or whatever?
yeah. And so I'll pass these around, you can take a look at them.
How is that for cleaning, the recycled?
It's for,
Is it porous, or?
I believe they just mop it. He said I talked to Paul, he said they're putting it in high schools. He said it's very durable. He's never had to go back and replace any tiles. They're interlocking, so if one did, for some reason, get damaged, you just replace that one.
Is this a sealed example? Or do they seal it?
No, they glue it down and do the whole deal, and so, and...
This would be fairly non-skid too, right?
Non-skid.
Yeah.
So the...
Non-stain.
I was thinking of marmoleum for Lisa's area, and then the rubber flooring for the patrol room, and then here's the...
Is this the linoleum or whatever, the blue one?
Yeah, so it would be, what I was thinking of doing was doing the patrol room this year, so my out-of-pocket would be $2,578. John, you can pass.
2,500.
Yeah, so originally I had budgeted about 22.
So it's 300 bucks more.
Yeah, and that would take care of the patrol room this year, and then next year I would budget just to do these.
But that 22, you were hoping to get the squad room and Lisa's room.
So
But now that we want it to be eco-friendly,
Is this something that can come up and go into the new police station? Probably not, right? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That was a joke, right?
That was a joke. I'll never live to see a new police station.
Going eco, I can't afford to do both. So the patrol room is the worst of the two. So, I mean, it's actually a good hazard.
I like it.
what are you looking at? The marmoleum, or this for the
That's for
squad?
the patrol room.
Those.
the squad room, and then
I like the blue.
yeah, you can go solid color, you can go back.
It seems like that solid color is a slightly different material, or it has some kind of a covering on it. Yeah.
And then,
You want a pink?
Is that the same thing?
Pink, that's a great color. What do you think, Pat? She thinks pink is bad.
You just told me what you thought.
Did she kick you?
I like the blue fleck
Same
one.
order.
I do too, actually, that's the one.
This is the one I like.
That's the one I like.
I put that in my basement.
Yeah.
That's cheap money.
You put this in your basement.
You know what?
put that in my
I actually quoted that with another company a couple years ago, and that is cheap. Paul's price is cheap.
Yeah, no, I like the blue and the gold, rather
one.
than that one.
Yes, yeah.
Whatever happened to wood?
It's very expensive.
Oh, yeah.
unless we go in your backyard
Thank you, Jesse.
and speak to John. So he can mill them.
There you go. This is
So-
funky.
It's 20 for, so it's $300 over,
What I had,
what did you,
Yeah.
can you grab it from somewhere else? or-
yeah, I could,
Just buy him less bullets.
less bullets. No, I'll find it, and I want to go back at, I gotta honestly admit, I was a skeptic about this, but I'm glad you guys had me research, because I think I do like this stuff.
Well,
I
they
really
have
do.
to, you think of the time you're in the building, and the offices are in that building, and why should they be exposed to the off-gassing? You know,
If I
why
had it,
shouldn't we
yeah.
be concerned with their health and their safety? I mean, the time has come to be concerned.
Well, I think, remember when we sat on the building committee, we talked about doing the new PD this whole way?
Exactly.
Like, everything would be non-toxic.
That's right.
And this is recycled material, whether it can be recycled again or
Let me see
not,
the
I
marmoleum.
don't know, but this is a great thing.
This, I think it is too.
You know, it may be,
I think if we ever build a new anything in Tilton, we should,
you have to be, yes, we do.
If we didn't know better, that would be one thing, but we do.
I'm learning.
There you go.
What's the maintenance? How often, and can we get some quotes on what it would cost for like 1 year's maintenance?
What maintenance?
What maintenance?
I've worked in
Okay,
places
so
that...
cleaning?
All we did was mop it.
The tiles are bigger than that, too, I would imagine.
Yeah, they're
Than
big.
this here?
Yeah, they're like 12 by 12, I would think.
12
Yeah.
interlocking.
There's no real maintenance on it, I wouldn't think.
Yeah.
So you want to go with the rubber flooring? Is what you want to do? I'll make a motion to
Did
go
I
with
say?
the rubber flooring for the squad room for $25,78.62.
Second?
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion?
Could I just say something too, Pat?
Sure, yeah.
He did say if the subfloor was in good shape, you could back out that subfloor price, so it could be less if he gets in, if the carpet comes up.
Nice.
Which one are you
Shipping.
voting on?
I like the one right next to that one, the blue with the gold.
Yeah,
Flat.
that's...
What's this stuff?
That's just a solid one.
You didn't like that?
Just a solid.
Easier to clean.
What are you gonna do with that carpet that's on there?
I like this one.
Looks bad.
I know, but are they gonna burn it? They're
Oh,
go-
this one you liked.
Well, in the town of Tilton, if they're gonna throw it away in Tilton, it goes to burn.
And I really like this right here. You gotta look at it in the light though. That fresco
Fresco?
blue.
Oh, I do
Yep.
like that.
I like that fresco blue for Lisa's room.
Blue?
One's that?
It's
Oh, in there.
marmoleum, right? I do like this, but after a while, this is gonna look scuffed.
Summer
Or show
pudding.
dust.
Yep.
That's the name.
Show dust,
It's like a wrestling mat.
Ooh.
because it's shiny.
Now, you gotta let them know, because we're putting rubber flooring down.
Pine
We'll be wrestling in the
forest.
squad.
Whoa.
There will be no wrestling in the squad room. Hello?
Yeah, I know.
And this will not be pull the cabinets out and the chairs out.
Well, a bare minimum of wrestling,
Less on there.
is it in the contract?
Less on there.
Some light wrestling.
Like wrestling.
If Dickie's on duty, there's no wrestling.
Yeah, I know.
Some of the things, like, can you use regular leg chairs? Do they have to be a certain diameter to be on that so they don't puncture it? Or
I don't think you're gonna puncture that.
I don't know if you can puncture it.
do we know any of these things for sure, like what it's going to cost to maintain it?
your...
Yeah, I mean, Paul,
What will puncture it, or any special things? It's a lot of investment. I'll make sure we get
Cutting it.
getting into it here, too.
That's a sample, you know.
Endurance sports flooring?
This stuff is fantastic, this marmoleum.
But then you can't tell where it pierced it, so I don't think there's a chair going through.
yeah.
Go ahead and tell me where it's down.
We've had this in some of the buildings I've worked in, and you just damp mop it. That's it, if it gets dirty. And it's pretty indestructible. Like Joe just drove a knife in it and you can't even tell.
You can't tell where it was.
All right, call the question.
All those in favor of the motion?
Second.
No, it was already second.
I know, by me.
Oh, you confusing.
I told you, never mind.
All those in favor of the motion?
I am.
Aye. Opposed? Abstain?
I'm going to abstain on it.
Okay. You don't know enough about it.
So
all right.
then, next year, we'll put them all
We got a plan for that.
plan for that, yeah, which this area is 29,
Yeah, that's not bad.
so that's not bad. But that's the whole way down to prosecution.
Maybe at the end of the year, you might be able to do
Maybe
that,
we'll-
if you have something left over.
Yeah. So that's it. Thank you.
Okay. Are you starting to tell your corporals for evaluations?
We haven't started them yet, but we're going to as soon as Luke gets back from vacation.
Okay. When does he get back?
He's off all this week and half the next. As soon as he
And-
gets back, we'll get him through.
And when is oral boards?
He was making calls on it today. He's trying to get that done within the next 2 weeks, so
Okay.
before July 7th. I think he's got 3 locked in.
Okay. Anything else for the chief? While he's up here?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Are you still patrolling downtown?
We are, yeah. Matter of fact,
How frequently?
he was down there last night, or Tuesday night.
they make-
They're
did-
trying to get down there as much as possible and more during the summertime. They have been chasing the radio a lot, so, but they know that when they're not chasing the radio, I want them down there. And we, obviously, we had a burglary down there at the Tilton Haircut for Men. So it's, it's not out of the question that we couldn't have crime down here.
Do they make contact with the merchants to see if there's anything in particular that's happening or that they're worried about or concerned about as far as
Yeah, I actually saw,
crime and,
Steve doing
Loitering
that
and-
Tuesday night, going in and out of
Excellent.
businesses. Because we had change of the gavel at Onions, and so I came out and Steve was going in and out of the businesses at 9 at night. So, yeah, and the speed trailer's up on Caliph.
excellent, thank you.
Spot.
Follow-up
We had some-
downtown question?
Yep.
How many parking violations have been written in the downtown area? Any?
I could get that for you, I don't have it.
Okay.
But, it's, sometimes less violations could be, it's working, too.
And that's true, everybody's obeying the law. But just in case they aren't, I would be curious to know.
I can tell you they're not.
I can too.
Yeah.
I can tell you they know that there's not an officer downtown,
That's
and
why
there's
I
not
asked.
an officer assigned to parking, so that
take
they
it.
watch. And
Go
then
figure.
They see an officer, then there's phone calls made from one end to Main Street to the other, and
And it's the merchants'
There's-
employees.
there's
Like a phone tree.
Yeah.
There's like a phone tree, and then they all go out and move their vehicles.
I have an email. Came in at 6:02 PM. Very unhappy person. Still waiting for someone to rectify the mistake that was made by your department over 1 year ago.
Was it?
The towing?
I don't know if it's non-public or not.
The towing?
I don't know what it's about. No, I don't, I think that's the first time I'm seeing it. But the indication there is, he's been trying to resolve something. He doesn't say specifically what it is. There's an assumption there that we know. And that it's been over a year, is that what he's saying?
The email looks familiar.
And he's not real happy.
I know there was some back and forth, just because I recognize the email.
Would you forward that to me, Catherine?
I'll try.
Pardon?
She'll try.
You'd have to go.
Okay, can I see this, chief?
It doesn't even mention what the problem
I have a hard time forwarding those things. I can do it from my
There
big
you go, push
computer.
the forward button.
Hit forward, hit all.
That little mini, yeah, send it to everybody. I think it only came to Pat and I.
Oh, did it come to me?
I think so.
Oh, I could do it. I could forward it.
So a year ago,
Recognize the name.
yeah, everything, the email looks familiar.
Good luck.
I'd have to go and see.
Did you get it?
Officer Pocket. Officer Pocket.
Oh, yeah.
There it is.
I got
She's got it.
I'll forward.
He doesn't really say what
Done.
it is. Or,
Let me try.
Oh, I know what this, yes.
Okay.
Remember?
Tell me if you get two.
Okay. The name sounds very familiar.
doesn't the email look familiar too?
Uh-huh. Yes, you know what that is.
You're right on there.
No, he's the one, he lives in Guilford.
Johnson?
What was it about? It was just recent.
That's pretty cool.
No. No. He had something taken, and it was a resident. It
That's
was-
easy enough.
And we don't have records. Chris doesn't have, it's not our jurisdiction.
That's right, it's another town.
It's another,
Guilford case.
it's a Guilford case. It's not our jurisdiction because the gentleman is in another.
Now it's coming back. to
But
me.
I called him, he called me back. He had talked with you.
We both talked about
We both talked with them, and there's not, a Tilton PD is not the fix. It's actually,
the Guilford
it's
case.
a Guilford case, I believe is
It's a
what,
Guilford burglary.
Why is he contacting us?
because it happened,
Well, he went to Fast Cash.
right, it went to Fast Cash. There was something that went to Fast Cash, but it was actually from Guilford.
Right.
Oh, so even though it came to
Right.
a property in our town,
It was
the
prosecuted up there.
police station took it
Right.
and handled it. Well, why haven't we told this fellow this?
We have.
We have.
We have, I know, because I was on the phone directly after the chief. I was almost in your office when you were on the phone with
Right.
him.
Yeah.
Right.
It's coming back to me now, yep.
Did we call him, email him? Do we have a hard copy that indicates?
I know, I've talked with him.
Yeah, I mean, you could just reply that I'll call him again. And
I think we need to send him a letter
Well, we'll invite him down for a non-public next week.
very
Get an answer.
clearly.
Yeah, I would love to tell him to his face.
Okay,
So
either
that he
way.
completely understands.
Okay.
More than happy.
Anything that's recorded, anything that gives us proof that we have told him that,
We can hand him a letter at the time, but
that'd be a good idea.
I mean,
No,
I do have some back and forth emails, so I could actually, you know.
Don't lose him.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, don't lose him.
well, I'd like the gentleman to be satisfied with
See if he
the
wants to,
situation.
see if he
Yeah,
wants to
no,
come in.
Well, it just, I'm concerned about, people are so suit happy, you know? Is that what he's working towards? Doesn't make any sense.
Maybe he misunderstood our role in this.
Maybe.
I'll just say, would you like to come in?
So
and
we'll
speak?
just make our role clear and see what he says about that.
All right.
I have a question. When would a union representative be allowed to do limited union work while on duty? Under what circumstances would that ever occur?
As long as it's a reasonable amount, this is how they word it, reasonable amount of time and it doesn't interfere with day-to-day operations, so.
No, he can, I know, I understand that. And affording the union reps time to deal with union business, I totally understand that. But while on duty as a police officer, it says, with prior approval from the chief of police only, underlined now, a union representative may be allowed to do some limited union work while on duty.
Right.
Not afforded time to go and do union work, but on duty he could do union work.
Yeah.
What kind of union work would they do that we would pay them to do?
If he had a
listen to a complaint from a union member, if he had to, respond to the board on, like, the pay scale, or, answer an email, stuff.
All right, I'll respond to that in a minute. So the evaluations, you're working on that?
Yep.
All right. Any more questions for the chief?
No.
No, okay. One other thing, I know last year we brought it up, not sure how you feel about it this year or not. Do you want to try every other week in July for a meeting, or do you want to continue with every week?
It seems like the every week thing, it kind of like, but if you wait every other week, then they're marathon sessions.
That's right.
Well, they're marathon sessions no matter what, really.
Well, then what are we going to do?
Speed up the process, let's go.
Well, we won't have appointments in July, and we'll shorten the process, that's all.
Unless somebody really needs one.
If we have no appointments, no outside, anything,
Speed up the
we're all
process.
set, but that never happens.
Well, you can make it happen.
That never
Delay
happens.
them. Sorry, in my opinion.
I'd be up with that,
Works for me.
but there can be no outside appointments, because like Joe said,
I
we'll
would
be
say that
here
we
till
should
11
meet for a
o'clock at
short
night.
period every week. Even if it's just to come in and sign stuff and any emergency things
You
that
would
come
have
up
to
for
sign anything.
an hour.
When we came in last week just to sign stuff, we were here until what, 3:30?
That's 2 hours. That's a short meeting.
2.5.
Oh, was it like that?
Yeah.
Well, there you have it. How you gonna not sign things? You gotta come in anyway.
Well, you don't have to have a meeting to sign,
You can just come in the office.
because your signature,
Well, I understand that the stuff we've already approved and the payroll and stuff, your name is your vote.
So what's the consensus? You haven't experienced it yet, not in the summertime. Year before last, we did it, and
I haven't experienced it either.
you haven't, we've been working it every
Day.
No, the
Every
first year.
Thursday. No, every Thursday. Never once have we taken Thursdays off.
One year we took
One year we
the
did,
weekend,
and
and it seemed like that
the
week,
every other week thing worked out to hours and hours. And you know what? It seems interesting that the month that we would receive a 33% increase in our selectmen's wages, we would move to cut the meetings at half. I'll just say it.
yeah, that's true. I'm just bringing it up.
Oh, yeah. I'm thinking a short meeting every week, but I'll go with the flow. Not like I'm not required to.
There might be just certain meetings that we
We can meet every other week.
So we'll just have appointments every other week, and then
no appointments.
no appointments for July at all?
July.
If we can avoid it, I mean, we're calling you again.
We do have,
Except for Mr. Morton,
Go ahead.
on the 24th, we have Senator Forrester coming in. But if you want me to call her and change that, 'cause
Mr.
she did-
Manning is next week, right?
And yeah.
Maybe not. He may be,
Why don't we go for August every other week, no appointments?
There you go. Maybe
All
we
right.
should go
Let's go for August.
so we can plan
No
this out.
appointments.
Maybe.
August is such a great month. Chief, there was one more thing that you weren't in yesterday. We were following up on a report of a hit and run in the Peacher Express, and the person that was involved in the car that was involved in it went to the PD, and there was no police report. So I spoke with Captain Martin on that.
Yeah.
And he was to get the report ready.
Yeah, I have it.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and the CAP kind of like reinvestigated, and I guess there was some confusion. I think some people on scene thought that they could identify who did it or a vehicle, but they couldn't see the vehicle in the video, and I guess they can't, but yeah, the report's done, and he spoke with this victim,
Okay.
so...
And he already spoke with them? Did he give him a copy of the report?
I believe he was in the lobby sometime today.
Okay.
Came down to pick it up.
Do you want a report, just in case? Yeah. Okay. Can we make a copy of that report for John and...
I guess my concern was that this fellow contacted me, not knowing what to do, because when they showed up there were two people that actually saw the vehicle back into this other vehicle that stood outside, watched it, and identified the person by name and the vehicle, and saw the guy take off. And then the officer came down, and no report was filed at that time. But there were two, I realized there was a camera at Cumberland Farms, but this was in an area where there was no camera.
Right.
But you did have two eyewitnesses that knew the name of the person in the vehicle. And 3 weeks went by, and then they looked at the camera at Cumberland Farms after I had sent the letter out. So that's where I'm real concerned with that.
The only, if it starts to become more of a complaint than an investigation, he really should see the captain so we can start to look into it, like right away. I would just say go down and see Captain Martin, and that way there, it's got to go through a process. And
well, my concern was that somebody said that there was an accident, two people witnessed it, the guy's hit and run, they called 911 or whatever, they came down, and then it was just dropped for 3 weeks.
yeah, sometimes perception is different from what actually transpires and what the officer's told, but we have to investigate that too, and so we can't investigate if they don't come to talk to us. So,
but they did.
No, I mean, it's if they're saying that the officer didn't do their job or did their job poorly, they need to come see the captain so that we can investigate, did they do their job, correctly. So it sounds to me like from what you're saying, he feels like the officer didn't do the job correctly, right?
Well, my question was,
so I'm just trying to, I guess...
Somebody had to come to me personally.
Oh, yeah, no.
And they didn't even have the name because the officer didn't give them a business card or anything when it happened.
Yeah, if he comes, I haven't met him, but if he comes down, we'll sit down with him, we'll talk to him, because I want to make sure that we did do it correctly, and if something isn't working there, somehow could have improved on the call, I want to make sure that we do. The captain looked into it today, and he said, Chief, I read the email, and basically what transpired and what the officer was told is different than what was in the email. So...
Sure, yeah, I wasn't there either, so yeah.
But certainly I'll sit down with him.
Okay. Joe, do you have anything for us?
Yes. I went and investigated Packer Brook and the tree. The tree's still there, but the brook is open. What concerns me is the brook is full of branches and stuff from...
Of what?
Branches.
Oh.
And I didn't pull the branches out of the brook. But I'm thinking that, I don't know, we had a heck of a rain. What did all those branches do to the water flow? And the branches are there as a result of pulling the tree out. So I don't know. I'm just saying. On July 10th.
We need to really look at that because we need to respond to the legal end of that.
But those branches in the brook are not our responsibility.
They're not.
The only reason we took the tree down is because we happened to own that property at this time.
Right.
And the tree was on our property.
That was very clear.
The branches are a result of the moving of the tree. They're brandy new green leaves and everything. And I'm thinking that it has to do with the removal of the tree. It's not old dead branches or whatever. This
Yeah, but
is
those branches could have come from the storm, down from the storm.
Well, maybe
or from
you ought to
another
go and
tree.
look. I
would find it odd that Dennis would do that, leave.
I found it odd myself.
Well, wasn't it his responsibility to get it out of there and somebody else is going to cut it up? Wasn't she getting an estimate for someone to go in and clean it up?
That was what I heard, yes.
Right.
He wouldn't have left branches in the brook. It's just
Somebody
not
left
like it.
branches in the brook.
Wow.
And not a branch, it was enough branches that I went, wow, I wonder what's going on with that. Just saying. On the, John?
Which brook was the?
Packer Brook, behind 16 Prospect, 18, 16?
16.
Prospect Street,
16.
the house we own on Prospect Street. It was a stump. Well, they pulled the stump, and they cut up the tree, and there was resulting debris that was in the brook. Next, the second Wednesday, I have a meeting with Archie St. Hilaire and Dennis Allen at the Department of Public Works at 10:30 a.m. Archie has a proposal. He's talked with Dennis with regard to what kind of receptacle we need down there for single stream and MSW, and taking out the several that we have now for papers, cardboard, single stream, and I believe at no cost to the town, as part of their proposal for saving us money, ostensibly, with the collection of the curbside recycling. I'm pretty sure they want a contract extension as part of it and what have you, but I don't know that for a fact. What I do know is he'll have paperwork for me, explain to me their proposal. I'll bring it back to the Board of Selectmen, and then sometime in maybe the last week in July or the first week in September, because not in August, have Archie come in and answer questions or counter proposals or what have you. And that's going to be next Wednesday at 10:30 a.m. And we have Old Home Day on Saturday, the 28th. We're having the big parade. Be there or be square. And then at the end of that, down at the Northfield Pines, there'll be horse pulling and burgers and dogs and face painting and plants, and the fire department's going to be making fried dough and what have you. Fun for all. And the selectmen, despite what the chief of the fire department has said in the past, will be throwing away candy by the fistful, and I'm looking forward to it.
Are there fireworks?
There are fireworks afterwards. They're going to be set off on the Northfield side down there at the Battery Park, or Surratt Battery Park, I don't know, across the way. And there's going to be music. I think Mr. Finnemore and the Fabulous Five or whatever are going to be there. And they were good last year. And there's going to be fun for all. It's going to be a wonderful time. The weather's supposed to be glorious, and I'm looking forward to a big crowd. That's it from Selectman, what's his name? Chessman, sorry.
Al.
Go ahead and follow that, Al.
Give me a truck.
Ouch.
I'll report next week, but the building permits are coming in by the 5th.
Yay.
Projects are being done all over town. Bank has been started down on 140, Tilton Road, 15 Tilton Road, for those who don't know. What else? And we had a, can I bring up this happened in recyclable, joint?
Oh, no, I don't think so. With what happened today with the recyclable.
Oh, if we're going to talk about that, it should be in non-public, because
Yeah.
that's, you know.
Oh, well, that's it then.
Catherine?
I had a friend, well, everybody knows John Marges, I think, came in the other day and asked me about the safe down in the town clerk tax collector's office. He would be willing to move it at his cost. You know, we give him the safe, he gets it out of here.
He's gonna sell it for scrap.
No,
Oh, he's going to use the
no,
same.
he's going to use the safe.
How much money do we have invested in that safe?
We've never, the safe was left here when the post office used to be here.
So it's just, is that where we have the paper storage or whatever?
We tried to give away it a couple of years ago.
I remember that.
Nobody tried to.
He has a plan for removing it.
Without, is he going to be liable for any damages?
To move it down the hall to the door and to have a boom truck reach in, grab it, and bring it out and lift it up and then put it on the back of the truck.
Is that floor and whatnot strong enough to carry that safe down the hallway safely?
There's plenty of support.
Holding it now. That safe's been pushed.
Well, in that one place it is, but...
No, it's been changed to
That
different...
safe's been pushed all over town hall since I've been here. I can imagine it was before I got here.
What about the rugs?
They'd have to put something down. They can't just roll it freely on the rugs. I think they'd have to lay plywood or, the last time it was moved, didn't Huckins use steel plates?
And lastly, are we responsible for any injuries incurred by moving this safe by his people?
I don't think so.
My back, my leg, my knee!
That'd be on them.
That'd be them.
In
We didn't
theory.
hire them to move it.
We didn't hire them, they're doing it on their own free
Well,
will.
they're doing it on their own inside the town hall.
We'd have to write up some document that we had.
I don't, not that I think they would, but heaven forbid.
Oh,
I
yeah,
think
it's a
that would
liability.
give them a lot of room, extra room to free up some space in the...
I mean, I used it for storing books,
I think they have paper in it right now.
but it's
I
really,
was asking about them last week. How come so many safes? What if you got to lock them?
well, that one's just been, like I said,
The
cumbersome.
brick.
We still have another one down in the basement.
Tell him if he takes them both, he can have them for free.
Yeah, he could wheel that one out to this bulkhead and reach in and grab it.
Oh, he's got the stuff, yeah.
That way, two birds with one rock. Or I'd let him have the one downstairs, get
So
rid
I
of it.
told him I would see if that was agreeable to everybody.
Make a motion to let them take the safe, as long as we're not liable for anybody that's moving it itself.
If he can safely move it without damaging anything, and if he,
No pun
as long as he
intended.
knows that it's responsible, that, he has to move it safely.
Yeah, we'd have to write up some document that they'd be responsible.
Absolves us of any
For the parking
responsibility
area.
under any circumstances whatsoever.
Will
Yeah.
it fit through the doorway now, with the doorway that's there
The
now?
existing door, we'd have to do
Same
some
size.
measuring, but I think so.
Same size.
They might have to take the door off the hinge, but
But that door
that'd
was the
be no
same
problem.
size.
it'll go out.
I'll second that.
All right, motion's been made and seconded. We're going to see to that there's some necessary documents to be signed for releasing us of liability.
And one last thing. This safe is of no historical significance to the town of Tilton, correct? It's just that we moved in and it was here and
When
that,
the post office left this building, they left it behind because they couldn't get it out. It's been we inherited it from the United States government.
okay.
Call question.
As soon as he said government, you had him.
Yeah,
We inherited it
I
from the United
can't
States
fight,
government.
yeah, let's get rid of it.
All those in favor of the
Yes.
motion?
Aye.
Let's hope they're safe about getting it out, though.
Yep.
Is it?
Now,
I
it's just-
spoke to you a
and I
couple
agree.
weeks ago about Manville Road and Andrews Road, that citizens had approached me about the speed limit on it. So,
Again?
no, I'm kind of anticipating a petition. I told them to get a petition, but in anticipation in that, when we're done recording the speed limit on Caleb, could we put the thing down there and see what the speed is down there, especially where summer is upon us.
Yep.
That'd be great. Also, we awarded the Boston Post cane last night, which is
Yeah, we
really
did.
nice. And typically, we award the Boston Post cane, goes to the oldest resident of the town, and then that's it. We just walk away and don't do anything. And I was talking to Pat this morning, I was thinking about it last night, because I couldn't be there, that we should do more about honoring the recipient of that, like the old Home Day Parade. We should
He's
have
coming.
a sign, yeah, but we should have a sign made, and every year that recipient should ride in that parade.
Bob's got the sign being made
And-
tomorrow.
Oh, excellent.
And I think that on that person's birthday, that we should have some kind of celebration, whether we do something here,
September
the senior
13th?
center,
February?
or someplace.
Oh, the 28th.
I just don't think that we should just let them go by the wayside and, we walk
Well, for
away.
it.
And I mean,
I totally agree with that.
it's just,
Miss Reno is a wonderful individual. I'd never met her before, and I'm so happy I had the opportunity.
yeah, so I just thought we should.
What a doll.
And she is going to be in the parade, and also, when I talk with Peg Shepherd, they're going to ask Northfield's recipient as well.
Who is
I have no idea, but...
And did everybody get a chance to look at that draft of the trash collection ordinance and mark it up and suggestions?
Yeah, I didn't mark it up.
I did,
just
but I
read
left
through
it at home.
Okay, so, because we should continue with that. There's violations all over town. One continues.
Yeah,
And
they're
it would
pretty
be a lot
casual.
easier if we had this document. I mean, I can pull things from health officer stuff and our existing, but it'd be a lot easier if we had this one too. And please mark it up. I already looked at it again and made some suggested changes too. Okay, I'm done. I'm done. The rest can wait until next week.
Well, let's see, the Conservation Commission met, went over some more things about down at Ernie's, and also discussed that parcel of land that they do not want it for, has no real value as to the Conservation Commission. Say mowed down at Salmon Run and Ernie's again, and Chuck and Kathy went down and cut some more brush down there. And there's a lot of enthusiasm. It's hard to be working down there. A lot of people stop in excited. When's it?
I've stopped in myself.
That's pretty much it. Budget Committee does not meet until August.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that. Okay. You don't mean, oh, that's right. You're on your
Get August.
summer
July
hiatus.
is off. And that's it.
Yeah, we have July off, right?
Yeah, we've
For
just
budget.
July.
You meet again in August.
August, yeah,
Summer vacation.
yeah.
That's good. All right.
I have one more thing I forgot. Chuck Mitchell and Cindy Reynolds and I met with Peter Slebus, the headmaster of Tilton Prep School, and asked him if they would donate the leftover loam they have from their project and some fill. And he, hands down, absolutely embraced our project, was delighted to give us whatever they didn't use, and even offered to truck it over there for us.
Wow.
Just
And
wonderful.
where are you going to put it now? On the
This is
field?
for Salmon Run in the Ernie site. Just wonderful support. I mean,
Yep.
absolutely.
And that's in
just-
kind,
Yes, he just was delighted to help us out.
yay.
So Chuck Mitchell is trying to figure out how many cubic yards we'll need to get him that information. And they'll, like I said, it was just wonderful. They'll bring it right over for us.
Nice.
He's very excited about the project. Like we explained to him it was a Brownsfield project, and, some of the pitfalls with purchasing it, and he's very excited that it's going to be developed into a conservation area. He also fishes there frequently, so,
Oh, nice.
yeah, that was very nice. It was just marvelous to have that support from him. And that's it.
that it?
That is it.
All right, so next week on the agenda, we will, employees, evaluations, we're going to keep this on the agenda until we get it, and we're going to look at the evaluation forms when Joyce gets back so that we can be a little bit more consistent with them.
Realistic?
Be realistic, yeah. And consistent, I mean, between departments.
Yep.
But meanwhile, think about who, what, where, and why, because that's coming up and we need to do it.
Are we going to do that outside of regular selectmen's meeting?
Yeah, I thought, I was going to suggest that we have a workshop
So we're gonna make up new ones instead of using the old ones.
where we're going to incorporate a couple of them together.
We're making that, just, did I hear we're making that form? We keep talking about changing the existing one?
Yep.
Thank God.
So it's a little bit more realistic. Do you want to have a workshop in order to create the form, or do you want to just...
Do you have a copy of the old form?
Yeah. Do you want to put it in John's folder?
Can you send me a copy?
Email us copies of it, would you?
She would have it for the board next week, so I could have her email it to you, John?
Yeah, email it early and then I can take a look at it in between and see. I'm not real familiar how the whole...
Highway is a little bit different from the town, so we want highway, we want town, and we want the PD. And the PDs is very specific because they're standard in trainings. That's what they go by, but we can still make it. We have the chief and the captain at the PD and Lisa. So we would need, those would the three that we would be looking at for there. And the PD, in the highway, is very specific to duties. However, we still can, the general duties in professionalism and performance could be the same as what we have here, you know. That's what I'm thinking. And then just gear off into the specific departments. And then we all have the same achievement, the goals, the standard kind of performance, attitude, attendance, that kind of thing. Weaknesses, things like that.
Are there like benchmarks that people have to meet for like merit raises or criteria for merit raises?
No. However, Dennis has been very specific with recommendations on why he recommends a certain percentage, because in the budget it's up to 2.5%, and not always do the department heads recommend a full 2.5%.
Somebody might 3 or 4, and
somebody might come in with a 1%.
Yeah.
And say, this is why I, recommend, and I would like to see a little bit more encouragement in this area. I'd like to see a little bit more involvement here, and I'd like a little bit more training here. So, we can either agree or disagree. I think there's only been one time that we've ever disagreed with them on an evaluation. And it's usually, it's not always the 2.5%. It's not across the board, 2.5%. And I think we've rarely, highway?
I disagree with almost all of them.
On highway?
Yes.
He doesn't like 10s.
I don't like 10s. I didn't like the handing out of raises to everybody regardless.
Dennis has never given 10s.
I know,
So we would...
Oh, no, I think they're
Right.
graded
I
too
think you're
high.
talking about town hall.
Definitely
here.
town hall, but even
but not-
in
not,
the,
highway.
even at the
That's
highway.
where we were talking about lowering it down to like 5, like 4.
Dennis has been more realistic. in
Whatever you have on the top mark.
I'm all about being with Dennis on this. The raises part, I didn't vote for that. You know, I didn't.
There's no such thing.
It's not just what the department head recommends, it's what we ultimately decide. But we allow them to have the input into their employees on what they do. I mean...
They know them better than we do.
The chief will come in specifically for the captain and Lisa. They work closely with them, and they know. However, we work closely here at Town Hall, so we kind of get a gist of what's going on here. One of us will take Joyce, it's usually, and then someone will take Al, someone will take Catherine as health officer, and Al usually does Catherine and Tim and Joyce, and then Dennis, and Cindy does Kim.
And herself.
And, right, but we don't have a control on any of her raises or anything.
We don't, yeah, she puts that in her budget. There's no...
Right, we have no
don't
control
evaluate
over
her, we don't...
on her money.
We don't have the authority to give the town clerk a pay raise.
She deals with the town meeting and...
Right. So it's something to think about. And we always set the goal for July 1st, because that's what it's been in the past, but the last few years, we've really failed miserably at it, and it's usually retro to July 1st. But in, the sewer commission does Joanna.
Now, do they have a different method of doing it?
Yes.
So that's a completely separate method?
Yep.
Oh, and she gets paid out of their budget anyway, so.
Yep.
Just sewer rates.
So if there's any more business to come before us in a public meeting?
The auction?
The auction is at 1 o'clock. We would like the selectmen to be there around 12:30, so Greg and Scott can go over things that are necessary prior to it. We'll be signing people up, Greg will be signing people in as bidders and so on.
I will, of course, be flipping burgers at that time.
Well, we'll have a majority, and we'll have you back.
Well, you already know how I feel about this.
The plants look great out there. Who's been out there doing all the watering? I drive through.
Catherine, yeah.
Out there keeping them alive through
Thank
this
you.
dry
here?
spell.
I have to tell you,
Is that?
it is quite interesting to be carting that hose across that intersection.
With cars going around you? What's she doing?
They're usually surprised when they come around and I'm standing in the middle of the road.
Holding the garden hose.
But thank you, yes,
Give us trigger for
I was
it.
very glad that it rained.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to try to get them out there weeding tomorrow.
Is there water right? Faucet, does that work? Mm-hmm.
The faucet in the trough, yes. Dennis, he is so marvelous. I think I've got to call him up, and he always calls them up and has it turned on for me. I don't leave the faucet handle on it, for obvious reasons. I carry it with me. But the faucet outside, I can turn it on down in the basement. He showed me where, but it isn't on. I use the one out there. Yeah.
On the side.
There's one on the side, but you turn it on down cellar. And I don't turn it on, but yeah. Yep, so far so good. We'll see if, I was hoping we'd have those blooming for Saturday, but at least we've got the gazanias.
All right, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That's all, folks.
Life is good.
Somebody want to get the camera?
Oh, what did I do that?
You betcha.
We do need to
Undo.
put out posting about
Mr. Great Meeting.
Packing
Sorry
boxes.
you weren't here. Maybe
boxes
next
and